Madrosed. Welcome to today's Celebrity Big Brother updates and spoilers. Here are our lovely house guests of the day. Thank you guys so much for the support. We really, really appreciate it. Alright, so yesterday when we left off, the nominations still had not happened. There was still some more scrambling to be done, so let's talk about it. Brandy, Ross, and Marissa were in the green bedroom, and they're trying to figure out what Omarosa's going to do, because she's kind of giving people different stories here, and they can tell she's really just trying to take the temperature of the house, see what's going on. So Brandy's like, well, I just want you to know we've been pushing for James to go up, and Omarosa told them that she can't do that because she made that deal with him during the HOH competition, and she's going to stick to that. However, she also told them, if this twist that's coming up with the power veto allows someone else to put James up, that's fine, you know, that's not her business. That's not her doing. So if that happens, oh well. Well, guess what? The Diamond Power Veto would allow that to happen, but who knows if that's even going to come into play. So then Ross is like, all right, well, we need to give her, you know, tangible options here. We need to give her other names of people who could go up. So Marissa's like, well, I've also been pushing for Mark. Why would she put up Mark? Mark is just like busy doing Mark things. During this conversation, Mark is on the other camera, just lying in his bed like this with like his sunglasses on like a freaking vampire. And he does that all the time. Why are you going to take out Mark the vampire? So Brandy feels like she could be the one going up with Ross because Omarosa's being kind of weird with her. Yeah. And Ross is just like, whatever. I'm not going to sweat it. It is what it is. And Brandy says, yeah, let's have fun and see what the twist is. Honestly, I think they would all be freaking out a lot more if they didn't know that this twist was coming up. Because, you know, they hear like, oh, there's going to be a potentially game-changing twist here. And they're like, oh, whatever happens now might not even matter after this twist. So who cares? Okay, so then Omarosa and James were in the kitchen. And she lets him know, hey, Ross and his crew, they're all after you. She lets him know after the twist was revealed, they came up to her and said, you have a deal with him, but we don't. So if we have the chance, we're going to freaking strike. So James is like, yeah, it's no secret that I'm a target in this house. And Omarosa's saying, well, I didn't have a problem making a deal with you because I don't have anything else going on right now. You know, I'm not really working with anybody else, so whatevs. She lets him know you're still safe with me, and then Ari walks in and breaks up the conversation. But this conversation kind of like catapults or is a catalyst for the rest of this afternoon leading up to the nominations because Omarosa is making moves. So she talks to Mark up in the HOH room, and she freaking word vomits her whole life on him. She's like, my target is Ross. He's been my target since we got here, and I don't want to put you up on the block. I would rather put up Brandy because she freaking hates me, and also I have no alliance. So what's up with you? So then Mark is like, well, I've never plotted against you. I've been loyal to you, and I don't really want to be a pawn again. You know, I've done it, and it's not that fun. So if you don't put me up, that's really cool. So then Omarosa's like, well, what if I keep you off the block? Can I get 1 week of safety from you and no backdooring? Now, let's take a second here. There's only 1 week left in the game. I think she means like one eviction. But it's just easier to say 1 week. But she means one eviction. So Mark is like, oh yeah, absolutely. I can definitely give you that deal. Is Mark even trying to win any HOHs anyway? No, he's been throwing. And Omarosa knows that. She's like, you need to win an HOH, though, like, to make it worth my while. So Omarosa, again, confirms she is planning on putting up Ross and Brandy, and if the power of veto is used, she wants to put up Marissa. Okay, so then next, Omarosa goes and talks to Meta in the red carpet room. And she's like, all right, I need you to help me real quick because I got to make my nomination soon. I need to know where your head's at. So she tells him, I want Ross out, and if I put Ross and Marissa up on the block, who would you vote for? Would you support me in getting Ross out? Meta says, absolutely. Hi! Would he really, though? Because I feel like this whole time, Meta has been telling Ross, like, I'm going to try to get you to the end. I want you to win, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if that's for real. I don't know. I think Meta is, like, very non-committal. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's not that he's, like, deceitful. It's just, like, he doesn't care, and he'll get swayed by the last person he talks to. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he would actually vote out Ross. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. But anyway, Omarosa's telling him, if you support me, I will never put you up. So she's kind of sweetening the pot here. She says, I think you can go all the way. So Meta's like, all right, I'll vote to evict him. Sounds good. So then Omarosa's next stop, she goes up to the gym to talk to James, and she starts out with her, I need your guidance. I want Ross out. And James finally fesses up about the Final Four deal that he had with Shannon, Ross, and Marissa. We know that that was BS, but, you know, Ross and Marissa made that deal to get done what they wanted to get done the week before. So James is like, nobody took it seriously. It didn't even have a name, for crying out loud. Seems like people are not really naming their alliances anymore. I noticed that. But James is like, yeah, so I'm not really with them. But at the same time, he would like to see Brandy go before Ross. He doesn't think that he can beat her in the end because of her story, because she's a single mom and she said she has no money. So he feels like she's going to get a lot of sympathy from the jury. I don't necessarily know that that's true, and I really don't know why he thinks that he's going to beat Ross, because Ross is super popular. He's playing a great game. Well, not so much anymore, but he was playing a great game. If he makes it to the final two, he's played a great game. So Omarosa's like, all right, well, if we extend our safety deal another week, again, I believe she means another eviction, would you support me in taking out Ross? And James is like, I don't know. He's worried because he feels like if he takes out Ross, that's going to burn a lot of bridges with Ross's group, and he's not going to be able to work with them anymore. But guess what, James? They don't want to work with you anyway. You know, they'll work with you when it's convenient for them, but other than that, they want nothing to do with you. So Omarosa's like, all right, what do you need from me to get you to vote Ross out? You know, what's it going to do? What's it going to take to get you in this car tonight? She's a real used car saleswoman. So James is like, I am going to need some security here. So they start talking about, like, Final Fours, and Omarosa's saying that she would love to go with him, Mark, and Meta. Oh my god. That would be like a weird Final Four. Like, it's so weird that I would be into it. You know what I mean? But Omarosa's like, think about it. Like, if I can lock those two down, you in? So James is like, he's still, like, really unsure about it. So he's like, I don't know about Meta, because we've seen how Meta is. One second, he's like, I want to go home to my wifey. The next second, he's like, don't freaking get rid of me. I'm not ready to go. So he doesn't know if they can trust him. And Omarosa's like, all right, fine. Let's start with Mark then, okay? So James is like, sure, I'm open to discussion about this. So Omarosa asks Mark to go talk to James, and he does. Mark goes up to the gym, and they're in there alone, Mark and James, and they both want to get rid of Brandy before Ross. But they're realizing, if we do that, we're going to lose Omarosa, and we could really, really use her as a number. We need an alliance right now, because it's very clear at this point that Ross, Marissa, Brandy, and Ari are all working together. Should have been clear from the beginning. They're, like, always freaking together. Come on. So they're like, obviously, those four are going to take one of us out before they go after each other. We're just expendable to them. Also, Ross is playing everybody. You can't trust him. So then they're thinking, you know, sitting in the end with Omarosa would not be the worst thing in the world. It could be good. So then Omarosa comes in and she says, all right, guys, Meta is down to get rid of Ross. She didn't tell him about the Final Four yet, which they were happy about because they don't want to give him too much information right now. So they're like, cool. Let's just give him minimal info. It's going to be great. So after some discussion, they agree to take out Ross first and then Brandy. And it looks like this Final Four deal is, like, happening. Whoa. All right, so a little while later, the feeds go down for nominations. And as planned, Omarosa puts up Ross and Brandy. Okay, so Apparently, she also stirred some things up with her nomination speech, or at least tried to, because when the feeds came back on, it was a little bit tense. It wasn't like fireworks, but there was definitely some tension there and some discussion in front of the whole house. So it sounds like Omarosa called out Ross for having a ton of Final Four deals with everybody, and I believe she also called Brandi untrustworthy or something along those lines for voting out Mark instead of Shannon last time. So Ross is like, it's all good, you know, I don't know what Final Fours you're talking about, but like, whatever. So Omarosa's saying, yeah, that was like really for TV. You know, I want to make things dramatic. But also, I'm trying to break up the pairs. So Ross is like, fine, that makes sense. Why didn't you just say that? Now I look sketchy to the whole house. Everybody's going to think I have Final Fours with everyone. So he's like, I talked to them, and I talked to them. That's it. I guess he was saying, like, Marissa, Brandi, Ari, and then, I don't know who the other them was supposed to be. Maybe, like, Mark and James? I don't know. I'm not really sure who he was pointing to at that point, but he's saying, I didn't make any Final Four deals, which is a lie. Maury will tell you that. Lie detector test. So, anyway, I lost my spot. Oh, Omarosa's like, okay, you pointed at them and them. That's half the house, so it's not really that far off. But again, she says, I'm just trying to make some good TV. So then Brandi is like, wait, so how did you find out about this Final Four? And I'm assuming she's referring to herself, Ari, Marissa, and Ross. She's saying, I want to know who out of our four said something so that you would know this. It's obvious. Her eyes told her. So then Marissa's like, I don't think, like, anyone actually, like, said, like, anything. Ari is saying, who cares? Whatever. And then Brandi's like, well, I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird that during her speech, Omarosa winked at Marissa. And Marissa's like, I did not do anything shady. No. I don't want you to think I did anything shady, because I didn't do anything shady. And, like, if you think I did anything shady, I didn't do anything shady. Right? So, Marissa. So, throughout this thing, Meta just wants them to continue their pool tournament. He's like, can we please just go play, please? So, things really fizzle out. There wasn't much going on anyway. It was not as dramatic as I think Omarosa was hoping it would be. So, they're, like, playing pool or whatever. Later, Ari and Marissa are in the green bedroom, and they're a little bit shocked still by the nominations because they thought it was going to be Mark going up with Ross, not Brandi. So Ari's like, well, now we know that James, Mark, and Omarosa have a deal. That girl is sharp. Marissa was just like, wait, what? Like, it took her a second to catch up. But Marissa builds on it, and she's like, oh, they probably made a deal also with Omarosa to vote out Ross. Like, she keeps them off the block, and then they vote the way that she wants. Ding, 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 ding. So they realize, oh, crap. One of us is going to be the replacement nominee if the veto's used. Yeah, pretty much. So they're like, we got to win the veto. But what would they do? Because if one of them uses the veto, the other one is still probably going to go up. So, ooh, it's a tough decision there. So later, Marissa shares this revelation with Ross. And Ross is like, I don't know. I'm not so sure that James and Mark would trust Omarosa enough to make a deal with her. Oh, they would. So he's planning on grilling Mark to see if he can get any info out of him. That should be interesting. I haven't seen that discussion happen yet, but he said he's going to do it, so we'll see. All right, so then last night, Pop TV gave them a margarita party, but it did not get lit, okay? This is not freaking Big Brother Canada when they got the trays full of drinks. It was just like, here's your margarita and no more. So they also had chips and salsa and freaking, okay, this is like Big Brother Canada. The have-nots, the slop eaters, got to eat the chips and salsa and drink the margaritas. They're only on slop for 48 hours. Do they really need a freaking reprieve from this? Come on. It's ridiculous. But anyway, that was it for the rest of the night. Nothing else exciting happened. Today, Big Brother let them sleep in late. I guess they had to sleep off their one drink hangovers. I don't know. Nothing really happened yet today. They're not playing the Power Veto until tomorrow live during the episode. So I think it's just like a chill, lazy Sunday. And nobody's popping off yet because they know there's a twist coming up. and it's going to have to do with the power of veto. So they're like, why waste our energy fighting when we don't have to? So, I don't know. Maybe something crazy will happen today. You never know. But that's all I got for now. Let me know what you think in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.